Hi, welcome to another lesson of our quadratic equation course. Today, we're going to learn how to find turning points in two different ways. Our learning objective is estimate turning points from a graph and finding turning points by completing the square. So let us start. Fine, we got y equals x squared minus 6 plus 10. Y equals x squared minus 6 plus 10. The first thing we need to do is to plot or draw a graph of this equation. So let us draw it. I go here the graph x squared minus 6x plus 10, x from minus 3 all the way to 3, and that's the y coordinates. This is the graph that we got. And what we're interested in is to find the turning points. Turning points is this point here. Okay? The graph was going down until it reached this point, and then it changes the direction and goes up. That's what we call turning points. What is the coordinates of this point? The coordinates of this point, x is 3 and y is 1. So 3 and 1. We found the coordinates of turning point graphically. We plot the graph and we find the coordinates of this point, which is 3 and 1. That is graphically. Let us see if we can find the same coordinates by algebraically by using complete the square. From the graph, we found that the turning point is from the graph, we found that it has got coordinates of x3 and y1. Let us see if we can find something similar from here algebraically. So, let us get x squared plus minus 6x plus 10. Let us write down that as a completed square. So we square root the x, and we have the 6, and we square it. If we square it, we will go minus 9, so we don't need that 9, we need to correct it by 9, so that's what we got. Okay, x minus 3 squared plus 1. That's what we got. Now, if you compare now, here we got y plus 1, so this is our y, and x we need to change the sign, so minus 3, when you change the sign, become plus 3. So we find the coordinates of a turning point in a two different way, graphically and algebraically. And that's how you find the turning points. Okay? Good. Okay, let me show you this one as well. So we got minus x squared plus 6x plus 1 equals 0. Let us plot this graph first. So I got here the graph, minus x squared plus 6x plus 1 between minus 3 and 3. So this is the points. This is the graphs upside down, because the coefficient of x squared is minus, and that is whenever that's minus, the graph faces down. The graph's going up until you reach this point, and when you reach this point, you turn your direction and come down. So that's your turning point, and that has got a coordinates of 3 and 10. Let us see if we can find 3 and 10 the square, okay, by completing the square. From the graph, we find that the coordinates of the turning point are 3 for x. Fine. Let us see if we can get that from here by completing the square. The problem here is that minus, so let's get that minus outside. How? We factorize by minus 1, and that gives us x squared. Here become minus 6x, okay, and I keep the plus 1 as it is. I'll write down that as a complete square, so minus 1 is outside. Here I'm going to open two brackets. X minus 3, that's how you write down this as a complete square. And this generates plus 9, so I need to correct it there, plus 9 by taking away. Here you go plus 1, and that gives you 0. I'm going to expand this halfway, so I'm going to expand only minus 9, so keep minus 1 there, keep x minus 3 squared, okay, times out minus 1 by 9, that becomes plus 9, and here you got plus 1, and all of this must be equal to 0. Then write down again, 1, x minus 3 squared plus 10 equal to 0. Let's stop there now. So the y-coordinates from the graph was plus 10. The y-coordinates from completing the square is 10, so no problem. This one, we need to change the sign. So we got minus 3. By changing the sign, we got plus 3. So that's all what we need to do it. So I show you two ways of finding the minimum, which is when the graph is facing up, and the maximum when the graph is facing down. Okay, I got here a equation. I don't want you to plot the graph. I want you to find the turning point by just completing the square. You can stop the video now and try it. Fine, I think you have tried. So let's do it together. Okay, so let's write this as a complete square. That gives us x minus 2 squared. This will generate plus 4, so we need to take away 4, and we need to keep our 3. So we need to correct by 4. That gives you x minus 2 squared minus 1 equal to 0. Okay? This will give you an x coordinate, the turning point, minimum this time, turning point, is x, we need to change the sign to, and y is minus 1. Fine, that's how you do it. If you want to, you can plot this and see if the minimum of this graph has got coordinates of 2 minus 1. You can do that easily. Okay, this is the end of this lesson. There's a worksheet that goes with it. Please complete the worksheet and use the answer sheet to mark your work. Thank you for watching, and see you in another interesting lesson.